The clock is fast ticking and wind of change of governorship batting is gradually getting set to blow in Edo State. Expectedly, the political parties and their candidates are working around the clock waiting for the support of the people ahead of the governorship election slated for September 21 this year. Now, this is even as campaign of calumny, campaign of name calling is becoming the order of the day. Well, this is not the cross of the discourse today on the program. Today we'll be taking a look at the Labour Party's preparedness ahead of the election. And joining us here in the studio to discuss the preparedness of the Labour Party and its candidate, Olumide Akpata, is the chairman of the media team of the Labour Party campaign organization, Mr. Zekeri Idris. Hello, Mr. Zekeri.
Thank you very much for having me. It's always an absolute delight. This is my second time in this studio, and I'll boast that I was one of the first set of persons that was interviewed in your station. Thank you for keeping up the good work at VOS TV.
It's a pleasure to have you on the program,
Thank you,
Mr. Zekeri. Let's begin with your party's preparedness ahead of the election. How prepared is your party?
100. There's never 100% preparation, but I can assure you that we are good to go. Our candidate Olumide Akpata and the campaign council has gone round Edo State 5 times. 3 times during his primaries and 2 times since the electioneering process started. Since INEC opened the window for campaign, it's gone around twice. And there's a tendency that we will even go around one more time in this last 17 days or thereabouts to the election. So to me, that speaks to preparedness. We have institutionalized what you call the mosquito campaign. We have gone from street to street, village to village, hamlet to hamlet, town to town, city to city, across the 18 local governments, the 3 senatorial districts, and the 192 wards in Edo State. No other political party, I dare say, and you can do your findings, it's a very credible TV station. No other political party has done the kind of work we have done. Some depend on a godfather from Abuja, other depends on a godfather in Osadebe. But God is our father. That's why we are putting that much work. And I am a believer in the biblical principle that God rewards work. You put in the work and the results will follow. So we've done that. We are prepared.
We believe that your party is the 3rd horse in the race, in the governorship race.
Yes.
Yeah. So, considering the massive turnout of supporters, in the major political parties, the PDP, the APC, is your party not intimidated?
No, at all we are not. Power belongs to the people. All right. Like you said, these other 2 political parties have beat themselves into a behemoth. They are like a machine. They beat themselves. But the only problem they have is that they've not managed to connect with the people. They've disconnected from the people. And the proof to that is that all of their policies and programs do not reflect positively in the life of the people. I just drove down to your studio now, buying fuel at the rate of 1,100 per litre. That is a policy of an APC-led federal government. You are well aware that a governor in this state demolished a hospital, a 100 years old hospital, that even some of our grandfathers were born. Some of our grandfathers were born in that hospital, built by the colonial powers back then, demolished that hospital, and in its place put a museum, a private museum, to house artifacts that are not his. That is a state government policy. You also are aware that in this government, they demolished a library where I read to write my project in the University of Benin when I was a student. They demolished a library to replace it with a shopping mall. And then they created one small room and called it a digital library. So this is the kind of thinking that these guys have. And there's always this self-delusion because you are a big man, so everybody must follow you. No, the people have made a different choice this time. The people will make a different choice this time around. I'm speaking prophetically into the future. So they have made a different choice this time around, and the difference will show September 21st. So Anybody can be who they want to be. They can, feel that, oh, they are the big men in the room, the elephant in the room, and all of that. But I guarantee you, so help me God, we have gone out, we have spoken to the people, we have spoken to the people in the dialects that they can understand, in the language that they can understand. I'm saying this figuratively and practically. We have spoken to them, some can't speak their language anyway. We have spoken to them in the language they will understand. They understand us clearly. It's a mama, papa, pikin party, a people-centric, a people-focused, a people-impacting party. So none other even comes close. Like I told you before, one is depending on the Godfather from Abuja, and they are building their whole campaign around a miracle happening in Abuja. And the other is depending on the Godfather from Benin, building his whole campaign around the miracle that can happen with the Godfather in Benin. God is our father, and that is why I'm so confident that this election will make all the difference.
Mr. Zekri, let me quickly ask you this question. Your campaign, it is not reflective that the people are in support of your party. It is not reflective. The turnout is not reflective. So what strategy are you adopting, to really woo the support of the people?
It's not. I am not surprised that you have this opinion of our campaign. The reason is simple. You are used to the way things are done before. But I am assuring you there's a new way that things are being done. As I was stepping into this hall now, into this building, I saw somebody wearing Olumide's shirt. We didn't pay him to do that. You are used to that. They bring money, they pay buses, they gather people in one stadium. Everybody is shouting, yay! No, that is not the way we do our campaigns.
How do you campaign?
Our campaign is what I've said. We have institutionalized the mosquito campaign strategy. Village to village, hamlet to hamlet, street to street, community to community, town to town, city to city, across the 18 local governments, in the 3 senatorial districts, across the 192 ward. No one beats that kind of campaign. We have had to campaign to places we will park our cars and use leg to trek to get to the village. We've had to campaign in places that you use only boat can take you to the other side. We have had to campaign in places that I give you a practical example. There's a village in Owan West. I asked them, when was the last time a politician was here? They say it's only local government campaign and councillors that are coming. No governorship candidate has ever visited. If I remember the name now, I'll mention it. And I can give you examples upon examples upon examples. We have touched the untouched, we have reached the unreached. And it is this undecided voter that will give us the election. Who wants to gather people in stadium? Look, economy is bad. So if they are sharing 10,000 to gather people in the stadium, it's fine. Let people go and collect that money. We also encourage them. That money is yours. Collect it, and on that day, vote for the party that has you in mind, a papa, mama, pikin party.
Let me ask you this question, Mr. Zekri. Are there plans by your party to collapse structure for the PDP or the APC?
There's to answer your question.
Yes,
there's
because
absolutely
rumors are making the rounds,
okay.
That your candidate, Olumide Akpata, is about to form a coalition with the PDP or the APC. So what's the status of that?
To answer your question directly, there is no such arrangement for our party and our campaign to collapse structure with any party. But I'll help you build the story around the rumor. All right. When we started, it was said that it was Governor Godwin Obaseki that was supporting Olumide, so that in case his candidate does not fly, and it's not flying right now. It's like a duck. Ducks don't fly.
That's why Igodalo is not flying.
Yes, it's not flying. Yes. You may not understand, but I'll explain.
Okay.
So in case his candidate does not fly and eventually is not flying, he will now support us to get into government house so that he does not lose to the APC. Now, we were able to brush aside those rumors and we continued our work. And we've been working very hard. Only for them to wake up and they realize that kite that they flew did not make any sense. And then the same people now, they are now accusing Labour Party of trying to divide the vote of PDP in Edo South. So more or less, in their mind, Labour Party is working for APC. So I will explain a few things to you. One, if a political party is worried about another political party, that political party will take their vote, it shows that is not a serious political party ab initio. If you have done well after 8 years in government, we've had 8 years of Godwin Obaseki of the PDP in Edo state government. If you've done well, you should not be worried about that you can't get vote in Edo North or Edo Central, so you have to win all the votes in Edo South. And because Labour Party, this is our stronghold, then it means we must be dividing votes for you. That shows that you don't even know what you are doing. So the other one that they said, oh, they were trying to fund us so that they can, even they themselves have acknowledged the folly of that kind of arrangement. So in the final analysis, I think personally that PDP are the one taking our votes in this election. If PDP can step down, if the people who are deluding themselves, thinking they can win an election, can step down, a Labour Party will be declared winners of the next governorship election before 12 noon on Saturday, 21st September 2024.
So you're indirectly
Similarly,
saying,
no, I have to tie this up. Similarly, the APC knows that it does not have the popularity to win elections. So they are depending on things that are, how do I do it? Superficial, depending on one or two. So we are the party to beat. That is why everybody wants to associate with us or associate us with another party. If we were not the party to beat, they will be comfortable in their own skin. Have you ever seen Labour Party come out to complain that APC is stealing our votes? Or have you ever seen Labour Party come out to complain that PDP is stealing our votes? They are the ones who don't have votes. So when you don't have anything to present, you look for who to blame. And this is usually a prelude to failure. When people want to fail, they blame every other thing around them except themselves. So they should look in the mirror. They will see where their problem stems from. It's definitely not from Labour Party.
You're insinuating that the PDP should collapse structure.
Yes, they have to collapse structure
Labour
and join
Party.
the Labour. To help, it will help them because they have a bad product. They have a bad product. They have a bad history of governance. Similarly with the APC too, they can also consider collapsing structure because they have a bad product that's evident, self-evident.
Can you give light?
I will explain how both products are bad.
Products?
In the PDP, it's a bad product masquerading as a good product. In the APC, it's a bad product that has accepted that I am a bad product. That is the difference. It's the same. They are the same. Two bad products, but one is pretending to be a good product, but you can't pretend your way to success. The other one is a bad product that's acknowledged that I am a bad product. I agree.
How are they bad products?
The candidate of the PDP, for example, I will explain to you, is known for three major things. First, as chairman Sterling Bank. Secondly, as chairman Nigerian Breweries. Thirdly, as chief economic advisor
To Governor Godwin
Godwin Obaseki. Those are the three prominent offices he has held.
And a seasoned lawyer.
Well, I don't know who put the seasoning. He's a lawyer. He's not a senior advocate, so I don't know who put the seasoning there.
He's an accomplished lawyer.
Yeah, he's a lawyer. He's a successful lawyer, but you are the one who is adding the seasoning now. There are ways with no seasoned lawyers. You must have contested the election in the NBA like Olumide Akpata and won, or you must have been a senior advocate of Nigeria, right? So you are the one adding the seasoning. That you can do deals and make a lot of money is not what adds seasoning to your lawyership. So let's go back to why they are bad. So I've mentioned three things known, prominent with the PDP candidate. Now I explain to you. The PDP candidate, as head of Sterling Bank, there is not one branch of Sterling Bank in Edo Central as a whole. For context, my late uncle Yahaya Zekeri, my name is Idris Zekeri, my late uncle Yahaya Zekeri was chairman of then defunct All States Trust Bank. In the early 2000s, he brought All States Trust Bank not just to Auchi, to Iyeke, my quarters in Auchi. So if it dey your mind, you go do am. If it really dey your mind, you go do am. It's a thing of pen and paper. And you know the importance of bank. Let's assume that his village is too small. Excuse me. Let's assume that his village, Ewohimi, is too small to have a bank. There are banks in Uromi. There are banks in Ekpoma. There are banks elsewhere in Edo Central. Not one branch of his bank in Edo Central. Number two, head of Nigerian Breweries. He was only there for 8 months. Nigerian Breweries recorded in his time 165 billion naira loss. Go and do your findings. You are a very reputable TV station. So 165 billion. Now, let me take it further. Nigerian Breweries had to go to the capital market to raise 650 billion. so that myself and you can continue to enjoy Star Lager beer. Finally, he is very prominent for being the chief economic advisor to Governor Godwin Obaseki. Chief, underline, chief economic advisor. Are you telling me that this Edo State you are seeing, the economy of Edo State, look like where somebody has been advising? Let me give you just one statistic to tie this up so that I don't belabor the issue. According to the Presidential Ease of Doing Business Committee, PEBEC, Edo State is the least place, is the worst place to do business in Nigeria. We rank 37 over 37 on ease of doing business. And there are criteria to measure ease of doing business. Access to power, road, infrastructure, workforce. It then means that we don't have any of those indices in the last 8 years. So we are the worst place. Do your findings again. We are the worst place to do business in Nigeria. And for the APC candidate, that one, like I told you, has already agreed that it's a bad product. So it's not in my person to begin to punch a man who is already down. So I'll
How
use
is
that
it a
one.
bad product?
The deficiencies are self-evident. They are there. But only
A serving senator?
Yeah, the weaknesses are evident. The weaknesses are there. It's only if you choose not to see it. I don't want to because I don't want to go personal. Right? So I speak to policy. There is nothing he has done in his life that I can speak to. So I don't want to say, okay, can't speak English. That'll be personal and that'll be petty. And I'm not known to be a petty person. I speak only to you.
Does he use motion with speaking English or his local dialects on the
dialect,
floor of the red chambers?
I've never seen him talking in the Senate. If you have seen him, maybe you can show me the video. Let's know what he used. But for context, whereas Aswens Nigerian Breweries was making losses, Olumide, as chairman NBA, President Nigerian Bar Association, that's correct. President Nigerian Bar Association, he made debts NBA was owing when he came. And he paid those debts off. And when he was leaving, he left 1.5 billion naira in the coffers of the NBA. Ask your lawyer friends, they will tell you that Olumide's time as president of the Nigerian Bar Association was one of the golden era of the Nigerian Bar Association. Also keep in mind that Olumide Osagbovu Akpata is the first lawyer from the outer bar to become NBA president. Outer bar means he's the first non-senior advocate in a period of over 30 years to become president of the NBA. So by the time you bring this together, you see that, look, there is no comparison. And he's significantly younger. Whereas Olu is 52, Aso is 64. Can't even speak his language. So those are the challenges.
Mr. Zekeri, let's not delve into claims that cannot be justified.
No, he can't speak his language. That is established. He went to his village with an interpreter. If you want to see the video, I can show you. I can provide it for your station to play to our audience.
Now, Mr. Zekeri, in all of this you've highlighted, I believe you feel that your candidate, Barrister Olumide Akpata, is the right man for the job.
Absolutely.
So we want to know. Take us through his manifesto.
My pact.
What is he bringing to the table that is different from every other candidate that you feel that, yes, he is the right man for the job?
His manifesto is termed "My Pact with Edo People." It's a document that he has agreed on with Edo people, and it's not a product of some professor sitting in a room.
Does it supersede those of other candidates?
Absolutely. Absolutely, and I will explain to you how. They threw in their manifesto. I've not seen APC's manifesto anyway, but as well as when I've seen that one, they threw in their manifesto, got some intelligent people to sit in a room and write a document they don't even believe in. How did we get our manifesto? I was also part of the incubation process of our manifesto. We went to the people. Like I told you, we've gone 5 times across the 18 local governments in Edo State. 5 times. So it was a product of interaction with the people. So there are specifics I need to mention. Because of our interaction with the people, the first cardinal in our manifesto is electricity, power. And the good thing is that power has been divested, it has been removed from the exclusive list and put in the concurrent list. Exclusive means it was purely the business of federal government to generate power. Now state government can generate power. And Olumide is an experienced lawyer when it comes to the power subsector. He was involved in the unbundling of NEPA that later became PAC, and was one of the legal advisors. And he's one of those who advised the project in Abia State that is now giving 7 local governments in Abia State power. Not just advice, he was one of those who facilitated that project. To what extent is something I will discuss on another day. Now, so power is important. And again, how did we conclude on power? We went to a place called Sobe, on one west, on one east or one west, I'm not sure which one of the all ones. On one west. And in Sobe, they've not seen light for 5 years. You can carry your camera there and find out. We went to Orion. Abudu and Ronigbe have not seen electric power for 10 years. And a man who was chief economic advisor under that government wants to now become governor. 10 years they've not seen power. In Orion, they have the highest gas deposit in Nigeria.
The governor stated it recently during one of their campaigns.
That what?
That yes, he confirmed your statement.
The governor confirmed it.
Yeah.
So the governor is more like a spectator in his own leadership. He's the one confirming what we opposition should be confirming. Highest gas reserves in Nigeria is in Orion. They've not seen power for 10 years.
He said he has started the project and he wants us to sustain it.
That is a lie. Let me tell you. You know why I say that is a lie? There's nothing that can be further from the truth. You had 8 years to do it. Did you just wake up today to realize you are governor? If you were interested, you would have done it. You didn't do it. So you cannot fail and ask us to reward your failure by voting your godson so that your godson will come and do what you did not do. Look, have you seen their campaign slogan? He go do am. After 8 years, you want do am. What happened to you doing it within the 8 years? So that now you go say we go continue am. For you to say we go do am, mean say you agree say una no fit do am. But in Labour, we say you don't do. All this kind of lie, fraud, deception, obtaining by false pretense. If you let me go, we will go far. That's why I'm trying to keep it simple. So, in a nutshell, my brother, we cannot reward failure. So, electricity is top on our manifesto. Education and health is tied together. Education, there's this thing they bandy around, Edo Best. Just recently, we have started going around, and of course, we've had this information. Our schools are some of the worst across the sub-region, across South, yes.
You mean with
our brick and mortar? The brick and mortar, the environment for learning is as important as the curriculum you are learning. So you cannot be teaching me how to be a rocket scientist inside a dungeon. You must provide me with facilities that will enable me to learn what you are teaching me. So our brick and mortar is completely, he has not built a single block of classroom in 8 years. It's where Oshomole left it, that's where we are today. You can do your findings, you are a reputable TV station. He has not built. And then he said he put everything inside tab.
I'm not trying to be defensive.
Billions in you can play the devil's advocate, you can be defensive.
No, I'm not.
You are the journalist.
Billions. I'm not the spokesperson of the state government, but these claims you're making, that the state government has not built any single school since our assumption of office about 8 years ago. Can you justify this?
Do you know anyone?
At least there are a number of schools.
The schools opposite to here was built when?
I'm even talking about, let's take a look at within the Benin metropolis. There are a number of schools.
Which one?
That have been renovated.
All the schools renovated were renovated by the
There is Edo Best.
Edo Best is an app. It's an app on your phone. It's an app that they put textbook inside. It's just it's this grand deception. And I don't blame people who fall for this kind of grand deception. I mean, if people were not falling for deception, how will Yahoo succeed? So this is advanced form of Yahoo. It's grand deception. You claim to do things that you actually have not done.
Let's be more specific.
Go ahead.
Mr. Zekeri. What stands Olumide Akpata out among the candidates that are vying for this crucial election in Edo State?
Is honest. It's honest. Honesty. If you ask me that personally, is the fact that he's brutally honest. It's not a man that talks from both sides of his mouth. It's not a man that pretends. And then look at what he has done in his prior work experience. His legal firm, Templars, is the biggest in this country. One of the biggest in West Africa. Templars has 128 lawyers 3 senior advocates of Nigeria who became senior advocates inside Templars. The law firm where is a principal partner. That's what I'm describing to you. For context, Arsenal has 100 lawyers, no senior advocate. Not one. All right? So when they go around boasting that they have the biggest law firm, it's a joke. Apart from that, the man contested election and became president of the Nigerian bar. And I just told you what he did. Not only did he completely reform that bar, make the bar responsive to the desires of lawyers in Nigeria, when he was leaving, he left 1.5 billion in the coffers. Never heard of. For context, Governor Godwin Obaseki met a debt profile left by Adam Oshomole of 125 billion. When Oshomole left, we were crying that Oshomole has borrowed us out of the world map, but he only left 125 billion. Guess how much Edo debt profile is now? 575 billion. My brother, look around Edo State. Is there anything you can point to that qualifies, that suggests that 570-something billion has entered Edo State? On top of that, Edo gets 16 billion monthly. 11 billion from the federal, 10 billion from the federal government, 6 billion IGR. Where is the money? So some of us are angry. We are not talking because we just want to talk. No. Supporting the Labour Party is not a paid job. I am volunteering. But we have seen the damage that these people have done to this state. And every reasonable man and woman should be up and doing to escort these guys, mercantile guys. I say mercantile because they are in business. And business is to make profit. Otherwise, if you demolish a library to build a shopping mall, because library cannot give you profit. When you enter library to read, did they pay anybody? No. But you know that when you build a shopping mall, you will make money from the rentage of stores. You will make money from merchandise. So they are mercantile politicians. They are another form of politician that invaded our state from Lagos. Mercantile. Anything that is not profit-driven is of no interest to them. Anything that is not profit-motivated is of no interest to them. So that is why the common man is the least in their consideration. That is why they are not interested in building health centers. The governor promised to build 192 health centers in each ward. He hasn't built them. He hasn't built them. So, because that one will not bring profit. That one is expenditure. Our roads have completely collapsed. There's no money paid for road. When you are driving on the road as a driver, you don't pay the government money. So they will not invest there. Look at where they are investing. Radisson Blue. They are building a Radisson Blue in Benin. 28 billion naira. Have you ever heard where a government is building a hotel in this Nigeria? There are 2 Radisson Blue in Lagos. I have slept in one. They are not owned by the government. They are owned by the Radisson Group. When Oshomole was governor, I don't like to praise him because I don't like his style. When he was the governor, they built Protea in this Benin. Did you ever hear that the government took money from the state coffers to build a hotel? When the last government was in power, they built the Kada cinemas. Was this state government taking money to build a Kada cinema, a private business? There are 5 ShopRites in Lagos. None is built by Lagos state government. There are 2 ShopRites in Delta State, Warri. None is built by Delta State government. How come our governor is taking money to build ShopRites? And we are keeping quiet? Is government in the business of running business? Government is social services, school, education, water, light, infrastructure. Once a government deviates from this to go into other things, they are looking for money. And they are looking for how to steal your money. Our people must open their eyes.
With the force of these political parties, their candidates, let me be specific. Aswa Godalo of the PDP, Senator Mondo Gbewolo of the APC. These are grassroots politicians. Let me exclude Aswa Godalo because I'll talk about Senator Mondo Gbewolo. And now your candidate, he has never been a politician.
But
he's a lawyer.
He has never been the kind of politicians you know. He has contested.
He's a lawyer.
He has contested by-election. By-election entails 180 over 180,000 voters across the nation.
The question I want to ask you now is, how is he going to really outweigh this political elephants.
We are not trying to outweigh anybody. We are speaking to the people. It's a mama, papa, picking party. Let them bribe as many they can bribe. Take the money. We are talking to the people. We are not sharing money. Go and ask. Our campaign it's my private vehicle I drove here. If they were sending anybody, probably they will send the Hilux to bring the person with police. But I use my private vehicle. I use my money to do some of the movement. So that is the way it is here. We are here to work. And by the time we win this election, Edo people will see the difference. Edo people will see the difference. Don't allow yourself to be hoodwinked. Don't allow yourself to be, there's what they call, there's this Swedish philosopher. When you become friends with your kidnapper, I've forgotten it's a philosophical term. Become friends with your kidnapper. Don't become friends with your kidnappers. These people have kidnapped and violently raped our state of its resources. Most of the contracts going on in Edo State are not done by Edo people. How are you going to make money from the government? Are you not surprised? Are you surprised that Yahoo is running wild? Are you surprised that Hookup is running wild? People must look for a way to ventilate. People must look for an outlet. We have a youthful population. How are you using their energy? So these people don't even have you in mind.
Let's take a look at your party. There is crisis in your party.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah. So, are you not afraid that this crisis is likely to affect the chances of your candidate, Barrister Olumide Akpata, in the upcoming governorship election in Edo State?
Good. That's a very good question, and I'll answer you. Yes, there are squabbles, internal squabbles within the Labour Party, chief of which is the legitimacy of the national chairman of the party. And if today is the 4th, I know there's a meeting in Abia State today to attempt to resolve some of those squabbles. But that's not the news. The news is that internal squabbles or internal differences are not unique to Labour Party. The PDP have their fair share. If you keep in mind, Philip Shaibu is still in court challenging the legitimacy of the candidature of Asuelime Ighodalo, to the point that the court had initially thrown him out, but the appeal court have restored him now. We are waiting for the Supreme Court to decide. So that means you can even vote for Asuelime Ighodalo that day, and at the end of the day, your vote will be wasted vote if the Supreme Court decides otherwise. So it's better you don't even risk your vote in such a candidate that has internal squabbles hovering around him. Same with the APC. The Ganduje-led administration of the APC, is now depending on the president for oxygen. There is a corruption case waiting for him in Kano, and there are many other things affecting the APC. So if you compare and contrast the internal crisis in PDP, Labour Party, and APC, whereas our own is malaria, with only artemether and lumefantrine. Yes, with only artemether and lumefantrine, you have solved it. One is cancer, the other one is pulmonary heart disease. So if you are talking about malaria, if we go to the hospital, whereas they will attend to me over the counter, those ones will go into intensive care. So those two parties are in intensive care. Our party is just having a mere malaria, and it will be solved in the fullness of time.
So it's not like
absolutely not. Peter Obi has been here to campaign for us. We have a campaign council that is up and running. We have gone around the place campaigning to the citizens. That is what is most important. Every other thing is secondary.
How about your party chairman?
Our national chairman, he's dealing with his own problem. You can't expect a man who is trying to save his head to come and be running around with you. So let him deal with it.
But one thing we've noticed is that the obedience movement is quite dwindling.
There's no dwindle in the obedience movement. I've said it before, I want to say it again. It's a group of individuals who came out to say they were obedient for AI. Obedient for Asue Ighodalo. That's what they call themselves. But that in itself is neither here nor there. Now I'll explain. Now, the obedient are followers of Peter Gregory Obi. Obedient. We are followers of Peter Gregory Obi. It means anywhere Peter Gregory Obi goes, we go. As we speak, Peter Obi is a member of the Labour Party and is one of the frontline supporters of Olumide Osaigbovo Akpata in this election. right? So it then means by a factor of that, we the obedience are with Obi in this election. So we are supporting the candidate that Obi is supporting, which is Olumide Osaigbovo Akpata. You that is going to obedience, you that is doing obedience for AI, it's like you have, it's like there's an analogy I like to give. Let me quickly give it. Obedience to Peter Obi are like Christians to Christ. Christians are the followers of Christ. So by the time you say you are now obedient for AI, it's like you are saying Christians for Ayelala or Christians for Shango. It's not possible. That is not to say that everybody who supported Obi in 2023 must support our candidate. No. Supporting a candidate is not secret court. When you tire, you go. Right? But don't go and be claiming to be obedient for another thing. You have left. The moment you leave, you stop being an obedient. You cannot be working in Leventis and receiving salary in UAC now. So if you say you are no longer supporting who Obi is supporting, remove the obedience from your name and go and support in peace. But I can guarantee you, though they attempted to even reach out to some of us, they made huge financial offers and the rest. But those who went there, I can understand. The economy is bad. So anywhere food comes from, now people can need to eat. But I know that in their heart of hearts, they know where they belong, and they will come back in the fullness of time.
Who is trying to woo you with finance?
Well, I can't disclose that on TV. Thank you.
Let me just quickly ask you this question before we round off the program. Over the weekend, we noticed that some parties were contesting the election. About 5 of them, they collapsed their structures for the candidates of the APC, Senator Mondo Gbewolo. Are you not scared? What does this portend to the chances of your candidates, Barrister Olumide Akpata?
Any party that can collapse its candidate is, first of all, not fit to be called a political party. You're not fit. You are not ideologically driven. You don't know what you are doing. It's put in simple terms. So, for them to collapse their structure, it means they are not even viable in the first place. So, if you are not viable, why should we waste time with you? There's no need to waste time with you. So that is not even a problem for us.
With the merger of these parties, coming together, are you not scared?
There's no problem. Election is 21st. Do those parties have members? Have they campaigned? Have you seen them anywhere campaign? Have you seen their poster anywhere? So that means they were not ready for the election ab initio. They only decided to go and some people, look, I don't want to delve into too much details in politics so that I'm not hurting people's feelings, but I need to say this. Some people are in this business for profits. Yes. Just like any other business. Some people are in this business of politics for profiteering. They gather and sell. It's marketing.
You mean those that collapsed their
Don't
structures?
quote me. That's your own, not mine.
No. Because that is the issue we are taking a look at.
Yes. But I am there. Yes, I agree. There are people in this business of politics for marketing. Some of us, like I told you earlier, have been approached. I've never said this on any other TV station before.
Your party has been approached.
Some of us individually have been approached with money that are mouth-watering.
To collapse structure for...
No, not our party.
Okay, not
individually have been approached to collapse structure to not collapse structure, to join.
Okay, to join the campaign train.
The idea is that some of us can never join multitudes to do
evil.
So that is the whole idea. So
you believe in
once God has helped you, you can eat 2 square meal, because nobody eats 3 square meal now. The country does not permit it. If you are eating 3 square meal in this country, you should be arrested. Give the last meal to somebody else. So if you are able to eat 2 square meal, you are able to put small phone in your car to go to where it's important. You have no business arguing with looking for in life. You don't need too much to be happy. You only need to do what you believe in. I'm becoming motivational now. You only need to do what you believe in and you are happy. So how can you see the damage that has been done to a dossier? You collect money and you go to support those who have done this damage. You forget that once they enter now, you have 4 years to eat whatever they gave you. Let's assume they gave you 1 million naira. Divide 1 million naira by 365 days. And then multiply that by 4 years. And further divide that by 4, which is 4 years. you discover that you are earning less than 3,000 a day for the 1 million they give you. And if you calculate inflation into it, you are poor. 1 million naira is around $600 now.
Mr. Zekeri, just in a minute, what's your word for Edo people as the election approaches?
Edo people, we have seen 99. We are now asking you to trust us with the remaining one that will make it 100. We have had two political parties run our state and our country for the last 25 years. 12 years of APC in Edo, 12 years of PDP in Edo. They are now in the final year. As a matter of fact, the present governor of Edo State did first half APC, second half enter inside dressing room, changed, second half PDP. They are one and the same. I have said it before that they are the same chemical compound. APC is the concentrated version of PDP. PDP is the diluted version of APC. I'm speaking chemistry now. I'm not insulting anybody. So they are one and the same. It is in your enlightened self-interest to break away from the shackles that has held us bound in 25 years. It is time for you to give another political party a chance. A papa, mama, pikin party. A people-focused, people-centric, people-impacting party that with the core of our messaging is the people. Anything that favors the people is what Labour Party will do. And I can guarantee you, if you have some of us supporting this government, if this government fails to act on its promises, you guys know me very well. I've supported candidates in other parties in the past. So when they fail, we come out and say it. We will still come out and say it. But I guarantee you, Olumide Osaigbovo Akpata has proven himself beyond reasonable doubt, and he will do the work he says he will do. Don't mind those that say they go do one where they don't fit do one before. Don't mind those that say a new Edo is rising. They don't even believe in it. He don't do. Let us focus on what can now progress us and take us to the next level. And we rebuild the foundation of governance and leadership in this state. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
They said Akpata is a dancing barrister.
Yes, he likes to enjoy dances. I like to dance too. And it's also very highly intellectual.
We hope that when he wins, he continues the dance. We'll join him to dance.
Yes. When he wins, Edo people will dance. Nobody is dancing now because the economy is bad. When the economy is good, people will dance now.
But he's dancing.
Yeah, he's dancing. Yes. His personal economy is good.
His economy is good.
Yeah, he wants to translate it into the... Imagine, we are not getting sponsorship from Abuja. No godfather in Abuja. No godfather in Benin. Using his money to run a state election. That's not cheap. That's not cheap. God has been good to him. God has been favorable to him. He does not need to take state money.
We wish him well, and we pray that he dances his way to Usadebe.
We will all dance to Usadebe. I will invite you to join us to dance in November when we are going to Usadebe.
I will gladly join you. And that is the size of the program today. Thanks for staying tuned. Do well to subscribe to all our channels and stay tuned to VOS TV Nigeria. My name is Jude Aweke. Bye for now.